I guess the first time that I ever thought of even becoming a master and was when I was testing for 5th degree. I was at World Championships, and I went up to say hello to Grandmaster H.U. Lee, and he looked at me and said, "I want you to become a master one day." And it's amazing how that one sentence changed my life, because that was my goal.
I went up and stood at attention and waited till he saw me, and I bowed and reached my hand out to shake his hand, and he says, "Oh, Mr. Moody, nice to meet you, and nice to have you come to Little Rock, and thanks for being here." Then I realized, you know, he had probably met me once or twice in Arizona. I wasn't a high rank or anybody that I felt deserved him to remember my name, deserved that recognition, and he did, and that was really special that he remembered.
This was in the early 80s. He was talking about the vision of what we know as Sungam Taekwondo. And he took out a napkin and he wrote the star on it. He drew it out. And I remember going, I'm not sure what this is, but I thought to myself, he's got something going in his head that is going to be huge. And that star, no doubt, has turned into a really bright star.
Eternal Grandmaster H.U. Lee gave me a stern warning one year to straighten out my personal life and wait a year to test for 4th degree. He says, pull over. We pulled over in the median between north and south traffic. He says, get out. I'm like, okay. I don't know what this has to do with anything. And he says, can you count the cars on that side? I'll count the cars on this side. And we started counting cars. You know, and about a minute went by, I said 200 and something. He says, me too. He said, so I want you to go back to your school, and I want you to wait a year and straighten out your life so you can get these people that are passing you by to pay attention and listen to you and come in and you can help them. And I just went, oh my God, that meant something. Wait a year? I couldn't even wait 10 minutes. And I was ready to train and test physically, but not mentally or spiritually. So I have done the car counting thing with all my juniors ever since.
Me being the green belt, all of 23 years old, I'm the low rank. So Eternal Grandmaster leans over and says, hey, do you speak? I looked around the room, looked back at him and said, I'm scared, sir. And he just laughed and he said, of who? He said, we're all martial artists. And that was probably one of the most inspirational moments in my life.
And a young man came running up, he's probably about 7 or 8 years old, he was a white belt. And he stopped and he bowed to, at that time, Master Lee, and he says, sir, said, you're the highest ranking person in the organization. Said, who teaches you? And Eternal Grandmaster didn't miss a beat. He just looked right at me and said, you do. Kid's eyes got as wide as saucers. And he says, me? And Grandmaster said, yeah. I said, every time that I see a new white belt starting out on their journey in Taekwondo to become a black belt, it reminds me all over again about perseverance and dedication and discipline, and I learn all over again what those things are like. And he went out on the floor and did the most awesome white belt test I have seen in a long time.